You know, Maddie, we were playing out that event from earlier for our viewers who might have missed it, where he made a major announcement today in one of his cabinet posts. Isn't that right?
He did. He announced his choice for Education Secretary, which is Dr. Miguel Cardona. And this is a very significant role for Biden. You know, a lot of schools are still holding virtual classes. A lot of parents and teachers have seen their schedules upended because they've had to teach their children at home. And Biden has said he wants to reopen the majority of the country's schools within his first 100 days. So his Education Secretary, in this case, Dr. Miguel Cardona, will have to be the face of that effort. And Biden also said during the campaign trail that he wants someone with experience in public education, and Cardona fits the bill. He was a former public school teacher. So Biden says Cardona will know exactly what teachers are going through. He has helped Connecticut prepare for remote learning and then oversaw their return to classrooms, in-person education, in-person classes. And so Biden says he's got the resume for this, and you know, he obviously has a lot on his plate moving forward. Andrew?
And you know, Maddie, there was a lot of talk around this pick, especially that, you know, Biden might be leaning more towards the head of the large and the powerful teachers unions in the country, though he went with Cardona himself. What's the nature of their relationship? Had you heard of Cardona before this announcement was made? And kind of what is he outlining as far as goals are concerned with the Department of Education?
Yeah, you know, I didn't really hear Cardona's name being floated around before, but as I mentioned, he's got a pretty big agenda to fill out here, or to fulfill. Again, primary here is getting schools to reopen within his first 100 days. So Cardona will have to be the face of that effort. He's going to rely on the experience that he's had in Connecticut. You know, that's what we expect to see from him moving forward. I think that's probably the most immediate thing that Cardona will have to deal with. But, you know, Biden has a very ambitious education agenda, and so Cardona will have to work on that as well. So they will have to work closely. And, you know, Biden is passionate about education because his own wife, Dr. Jill Biden, is an educator too. So there's a lot of eyes on this role and a lot of focus on it as well. Andrew?
Yeah, and Maddie, a heavy lift for sure that will be, though this is kind of the pick that we're all waiting for. You know, who will Biden pick as his attorney general? It's kind of the last major pick as far as the cabinet is concerned. And, you know, why haven't they done it yet? We've all been waiting for this. There's been some names floated. What's the latest on that front there?
Yeah, there was a lot of focus on that yesterday during his Q&A with reporters after his remarks here in Wilmington. And Biden said that he has no obvious choice for the role. So he's continuing to have discussions on this. And there's a lot of eyes on this role because whomever Biden chooses will likely have to oversee the ongoing federal investigation into his son's tax affairs. So Biden, however, has said that whoever he chooses will act independently. His Justice Department will act independently. So we'll have to see, but that's why this role is so crucial. There is no timeline as to when Biden will make his announcement, so we'll definitely have our eyes peeled for that one. Andrew?
And you know, Maddie, speaking of the first 100 days, Biden has laid out quite an ambitious agenda. And in those 100 days, now with the talk of this COVID relief package that was passed on Monday night, Biden has referred to that as kind of a down payment, essentially not going far enough for the American people. He's been talking about doing something in the early months of 2021 in addition to what was just passed on Monday. Can you kind of talk about that maybe a little bit as well?
Yeah, you know, he supports the bill that Congress has passed, but he's always said this is just a small portion of what he thinks the country needs. So he has said that in 2021, he will go to Congress and ask for a little more help. And he is expected to probably ask a little bit more for educators. He had a question yesterday about whether or not his COVID plan, whatever it may be, if it might include more stimulus checks. He said yes, you know, that's certainly on the table. So all of those things that we'll have to see, maybe more funding for small businesses. So yeah, that's you know, a big thing that Biden is looking to accomplish within his first 100 days or so in office. Andrew?
And Maddie, just lastly for you, you know, we were just showing before we're speaking with you, President Trump landing in Florida, spending the holidays there with the First Lady at Mar-a-Lago, kind of outlined for us where the Biden's going to be spending the holidays. What are their plans for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, if you know them?
Yeah, well, he'll be staying in Delaware. Biden has said, you know, he loves the holidays. He loves spending time with his family, his grandchildren. But obviously, with the pandemic going on, Biden says he wants to maintain good example here. So we'll have a much more scaled back, much more scaled down gathering with his immediate family members. So he'll be here in Delaware celebrating, but certainly not the way that he has spent his holidays in the past, Andrew.
All right, Fox News' Madeline Rivera there, live for us in Wilmington, Delaware. We appreciate your reports all the time. I hope you have a good Christmas, and we'll see you again.
Thanks, Andrew. You too.
All right, well, we have a lot of great stories, great live events coming up for the late afternoon, early evening hours here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's almost 5 p.m., so we hope everyone who's watching